Have you ever woken up in the morning, stretched your arms, and felt like your body just doesn't respond the way it used to? Maybe your legs feel heavy, your back feels stiff, or you notice that simple movements you used to take for granted now take more effort. If you're over 60, here's the hard truth. Your muscles are under attack every single day, not just by time or aging, but by the very habits you repeat without thinking. And the most shocking part? These habits are slowly destroying your strength, your independence, and even your confidence, often without you realizing it until it's too late. The good news is that muscle loss after 60 isn't just fate. It's not something you're doomed to accept. Once you understand the hidden traps that steal your strength, you can stop them. And in many cases, you can actually rebuild what you've lost. That's exactly what we're going to uncover today. By the end of this video, you'll know the 7 daily habits that quietly erode muscle after 60 and how to protect yourself before the damage becomes permanent. Let me ask you, have you ever noticed that your arms and legs look slimmer, not in the healthy way, but almost as if the muscle has melted away? Or maybe carrying grocery bags feels heavier than it used to. These are not just signs of getting old. These are signals your body is sending, telling you your muscles are vanishing faster than you think. Drop a comment below if you've experienced this, because you'd be surprised how many others feel the same. Now let's dive into the first hidden habit. One of the biggest daily mistakes is not eating enough protein. I know, you've probably heard about protein your whole life. But here's the thing, most people over 60 don't realize. Your body doesn't process protein the same way it did when you were younger. There's something called anabolic resistance, which means your muscles need more protein to get the same effect. Imagine your muscles are like a sponge. When you're younger, the sponge soaks up protein easily. But as you age, that sponge gets tougher and needs more water just to absorb the same amount. That's why simply eating the same chicken breast you had in your 40s isn't enough in your 60s. Most guidelines say 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight is fine. But research actually shows older adults need closer to 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram. If you weigh 150 pounds, that's about 80 to 110 grams a day. Have you ever actually tracked your protein? Chances are you're coming up short. And it's not just how much protein you eat. It's when you eat it. Most people have a small amount at breakfast, maybe some toast or oatmeal, then a decent serving at dinner. But your muscles can only use protein effectively if you spread it out. Aiming for 25 to 30 grams at each meal is far more powerful than piling 70 grams into dinner. Did you have at least 25 grams of protein this morning? If not, your muscles may already be missing their chance to rebuild today. The other piece of the puzzle is quality. Foods rich in leucine like eggs, fish, and whey protein directly signal your muscles to start building. Leucine acts like a switch. Without it, the process stalls. So next time you eat, ask yourself, is this meal actually fueling my muscles, or am I just filling my stomach? But protein is just the beginning. The second destructive habit is sitting too much. And yes, it sounds simple, but sitting for long, hours, is one of the most dangerous things you can do for your muscles after 60. Think about your day. How many hours are spent sitting? At breakfast, then maybe in the car, on the couch, in front of the TV, or reading. It all adds up. When you sit, your muscles go dormant, blood flow slows, nutrient delivery decreases, and protein synthesis shuts down. The body gets the message. These muscles aren't being used, so they must not be needed. And what does your body do with things it doesn't need? It breaks them down. That's why researchers say sitting is the new smoking. Even if you exercise for an hour a day, it can't fully undo the damage of sitting for 10 or 12 hours straight. Have you ever stood up after a long sit and felt your legs stiff, almost resistant to moving? That's not just stiffness. It's the early stages of muscle disuse. The less you use your muscles, the faster they disappear. And once sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss, sets in, it accelerates like a snowball rolling downhill. The fix doesn't have to be complicated. Stand up every 30 to 45 minutes, Walk around the room, stretch, or even do a few calf raises while brushing your teeth. Tiny movements send powerful signals to your body. These muscles are still needed. Do you know how long you usually sit without moving? Drop your answer in the comments. You might be surprised. Now let's talk about the third habit, one people never think of as connected to muscle: poor sleep. But the truth is, every hour you sleep is like fuel for your body's repair system. When you drift into deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, repairs tiny tears in your muscles, and restores energy. But when you cut sleep short or toss and turn all night, your body can't complete this repair process. Think about it. Like charging your phone. Would you expect your phone to last all day if you only gave it a 40% charge overnight? Of course not. Yet so many people over 60 go to bed at midnight, wake up at 5, and wonder why they feel weak, sluggish, and sore. Poor sleep also triggers hormonal chaos. Testosterone and growth hormone drop, while cortisol, the stress hormone, goes up. Cortisol is catabolic, meaning it breaks muscle down. That's why after a few nights of bad sleep, you feel weaker and less motivated. Over years, it's a disaster for muscle health. So what can you do? Start by protecting your sleep like it's medicine, because it is. Aim for 7 to 9 hours. Keep your room cool and dark. Avoid screens before bed, and create a routine that signals your body it's time to wind down. Some people swear by magnesium-rich foods, calming teas, or even a warm shower. Ask yourself this: do you wake up feeling refreshed, or do you feel like you've been hit by a truck? That answer will tell you how much your sleep is hurting your muscles. Moving on, the fourth daily habit is avoiding strength training. Now, I can almost hear the protests. But I walk every day, or I garden all the time. Those are fantastic for heart health and general activity, but they don't provide enough resistance to preserve muscle. Your body follows a rule: use it or lose it. Without resistance, your muscles shrink. And resistance doesn't mean you have to bench press 200 pounds. It can be as simple as squats using your body weight, push-ups against a wall, or lifting light dumbbells. The key is challenging your muscles beyond their comfort zone. Here's something inspiring. Studies have shown people in their 80s and even 90s can build new muscle with proper training. It's never too late. The risk isn't in lifting weights. The risk is in not lifting at all. Without strength training, muscle melts away, bones weaken, and falls become more likely. Have you ever worried about falling or losing your balance? That fear often begins with weak muscles. Strength training also improves posture, keeps joints stable, and even boosts memory and mood. In other words, it's medicine for your whole body. If you haven't tried it, what's holding you back? Let me know in the comments, because your answer might help someone else too. Now let's shift to something that seems too simple to matter: hydration. The fifth destructive habit is not drinking enough water. Muscles are 75% water. Think about that. If you're dehydrated, even slightly, your muscles lose power, endurance, and flexibility. Have you ever had a cramp out of nowhere? That's often dehydration mixed with electrolyte imbalance. As we age, our sense of thirst declines. So by the time you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. Add in medications that increase fluid loss, and it's easy to see why so many seniors suffer muscle weakness simply from lack of water. Dehydration also reduces circulation, meaning less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach your muscles. Over time, that constant low-level stress weakens them. So how much water should you drink? A good guideline is half your body weight in ounces. If you're 160 pounds, that's about 80 ounces a day. Spread it throughout the day, include hydrating foods like cucumbers and watermelon, and add electrolytes. If you sweat or exercise, we've covered 5 destructive habits so far, and I guarantee at least one of them applies to you. But the next 2 are often overlooked, and they can be even more damaging. The 6th daily habit is living under constant stress. We often think of stress as in our head, but it's deeply physical. Chronic stress floods your body with cortisol. Remember what I said earlier? Cortisol is catabolic. That means it tears muscle down for energy. If you've ever been through a stressful time and noticed weight loss, fatigue, and weakness, that wasn't just the stress you felt emotionally. It was your body literally burning muscle tissue. Stress also makes it harder to sleep, increases inflammation, and decreases motivation to move. It's like a perfect storm aimed directly at your muscle health. So what can you do? Practice stress relief daily. That could be deep breathing, meditation, prayer, journaling, or even laughing with friends. Staying socially connected is especially powerful. Loneliness actually raises cortisol levels and accelerates decline. Have you noticed how being around loved ones instantly makes you feel lighter? That's not just in your head. Finally, the seventh habit is one hardly anyone talks about: not eating enough calories overall. This might sound surprising, especially since we often hear about the dangers of overeating. But for many people over 60, the problem is the opposite. Appetite naturally decreases, chewing can be harder, and sometimes people eat light to stay slim. But here's the danger. If your body isn't getting enough calories, it breaks down muscle to make up the difference. Think about it. Your body views muscle as expensive real estate. If it doesn't have enough fuel, it sacrifices muscle first. That's why so many older adults look thin but frail, with little muscle left to support them. The solution is to focus on nutrient-dense foods. Don't fear healthy fats like olive oil, nuts, and avocados. Include complex carbs like oats, sweet potatoes, and brown rice. And pay attention to your weight. If you're losing pounds without trying, that's a red flag. Now pause for a moment and reflect. Which of these 7 habits are part of your life right now? Are you skipping protein, sitting too much, sleeping poorly, avoiding strength training, forgetting hydration, stressing constantly, or eating too little? Be honest with yourself, because awareness is the first step to change. Drop your answer in the comments. You might be surprised how many others are in the same boat. And here's the hopeful part. None of this is permanent. Every one of these habits can be reversed. With the right changes, your body can rebuild strength even at 60, 70, or 80 years old. It's not just about looking fit. It's about living fully, staying independent, and never missing out on the things you love because your body won't cooperate. Before we move on, do me a favor. If this video is striking a chord with you, hit that like button. It tells me you want more content like this, and it helps spread the message to others who need it. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the life-changing tips we share here. Another daily habit that silently destroys muscle after 60 is relying too much on quick processed meals and skipping nutrient density. Many seniors, often out of convenience or fatigue, turn to microwave dinners, crackers, pastries, or snacks that are easy to chew and quick to prepare. Sure, they might fill your stomach, but they're practically bankrupt when it comes to the nutrients your muscles are begging for. Muscles don't just need calories. They need quality protein, amino acids, vitamins, and minerals to stay strong. If you're eating foods high in refined carbs, sugars, and preservatives, you're feeding inflammation instead of strength. And inflammation is a direct enemy of your muscle fibers. It weakens them, slows recovery, and steals the building blocks you need. Think about this. Have you ever eaten a donut or bag of chips and felt energized and powerful after? Probably not. That's because your body got a quick sugar spike, followed by a crash with nothing left for your muscles. So what's the fix? Prioritize nutrient-dense foods: lean meats, beans, eggs, Greek yogurt, nuts, and plenty of colorful vegetables. Even small swaps, like choosing oatmeal over a sugary cereal or a grilled chicken wrap instead of a frozen pizza, can make a world of difference over time. And here's a little trick. When you eat protein alongside antioxidant-rich foods like berries or leafy greens, you're not just feeding muscles, you're also reducing oxidative stress that breaks them down. That's a powerful double win. But let me ask, how often do you reach for what's easy instead of what's actually fueling you? Drop a comment if that sounds like something you've noticed in your own routine.